let's get down to the business of baseball, folks. Folks, the All-Star game was awesome. Now, you saw some great pitching performances last night. Cliff Lee pitched great. Holiday pitched good. Ryan Dempster pitched good. I mean, the pitching was awesome. But the only thing is, they almost ran out of pitchers last night, and J.D. Drew would have had a pitch. It was crazy. But, the American League somehow pulled it off at Yankee Stadium. It was good to see Mariano Rivera get in there and pitch. The final ever All-Star game at Yankee Stadium, the original Yankee Stadium. I still can't believe it. With all the history of Yankee Stadium, you talk about Babe Ruth, you talk about Mickey Mantle, Yogi Berra. It was good to see Yogi Berra there. The most colorful, probably one of the greatest Yankees of all time, Yogi Berra. And don't forget, he caught the game that Don Larson threw the no-hitter. You know what, man? Yogi Berra is a legend in my book. He's the man, no doubt about it. Yogi Berra. That's something that you baseball fans out there, gotta appreciate. A little bit of history by some of the greatest people in the world. And some of the Hall of Famers like Yogi Berra. Reggie Jackson was there. Think of all the Hall of Famers there. Whitey Ford was there. Goose Gossage, you name it. There was lots of legends there last night. Hank Aaron from Frank Robinson. There was lots of legends there. A lot of Hall of Famers are still around. We're at that final game at Yankee Stadium. Think of all the history of Yankee Stadium. And I look back. I look at the 1977, playoffs in October when Reggie Jackson drove in 4 runs in the 9th inning. It was just something out of this world. That's why they gave him that nickname, Mr. October. And when Derek Jeter hit that game-winning home run back in 2001 and gave him the nickname Mr. November. It was midnight on October 31st. Derek Jeter got one of the biggest home runs ever against the Arizona Diamondbacks in the 2001 World Series. It's true, it was a bad year. It was a 9/11. A lot of bad things in the world happened. But, that brought New York City together. That brought the whole United States together. That World Series. And never mind baseball. It was actually baseball that brought a nation together. A sport I always respected. A sport I always will love. The boys of summer. They still get the job done 99% of the time. And now we move on to some rumors. And what I've been hearing, according to ESPN, looks like A.J. Burnett, there's a good chance he might get traded in the next 2 days here. We'll see what happens with J.P. Ricciardi. I don't know if he's cleaning house or what. This is what I would do if I were J.P. Ricciardi. I would trade Roy Halladay to the New York Yankees. Hearing what Derek Jeter said in an interview recently with Roger Sportsnet, he said that, I'd love to see, Roy Halladay. He's the best pitcher in baseball. And same thing, A-Rod said the same thing. And in a perfect world, if any New York Yankee fan out there would ever want to see a dream trade, it would be Toronto Blue Jays trading Roy Halladay to the New York Yankees this year. And you watch. If they ever got Roy Halladay, you watch. I think they would win the World Series because they have the talent there and they would have the pitching finally. That's the one piece that they're missing. The one dominant starter. That's all they need. And that would take them to the promised land. Once again, the New York Yankees. Don't forget, they still have Pennant. They have Mussina. You just trade off a few of their young players that are not really, really good. You get rid of Ian Kennedy and Phillip Hughes in the package and maybe a young aspiring outfielder. And you go acquire a Roy Halladay. That would be the perfect ingredient for the New York Yankees, folks. I've been watching baseball for like 23 years now. And trust me, that's half my life. So I've been watching baseball a long time, folks. I've seen lots of incidents. I've seen lots of controversial plays. But that wouldn't be a controversial deal in my book. I think that would be an outstanding trade for both teams. If it could happen, I'd be happy because I think it would really help the New York Yankees and the New York Mets. What a comeback of biblical proportions. A record of 51-44. they're right in the hunt with the Philadelphia Phillies, a game back of the Phillies. And, you have the Florida Marlins right behind them, just trailing. And, the Atlanta Braves, I don't know. What are they going to do at the trade deadline? There's rumors that they might trade off Mark Teixeira. I think I would trade him, because he's going to be a free agent in the offseason. I go get some prospects, put them in the farm system for Mark Teixeira. That's what I'd do if I were the Atlanta Braves, but they still in it mathematically. But they'd have lost 2 pitchers for the rest of the season. So, I don't know. I think Glavin's coming back in August, but they lost Smoltz for the season. Season-ending surgery to his shoulder. So, that's what happens. The Atlanta Braves have been kind of a disappointment this year. I really thought they were going to be, probably contending for a wild card, or at least for the division. But, since 2005, they've just been cursed or something. They simply can't make the playoffs anymore. Simply can't win their division anymore. But the teams in their division have gotten better. And you look at the Florida Marlins, one of the lowest payrolls in baseball. They still managed to get the job done. Hanley Ramirez is simply one of the best shortstops in the game. He's hitting home runs at a rapid pace. The guy got 16 home runs coming into the All-Star break. This guy, he just signed a huge extension with the Florida Marlins, and put it on this. He is a talented player, and and it looks good for Florida baseball. I mean, hopefully they get a new stadium, and the fans start to show up at the games at Pro Player Stadium. I'll be even better for the Florida Marlins because they need the support of the fans. The fans make the games. Just remember that. You guys are very important, man. We need you guys to show up at the games, folks. Attend and show your team that you care. If you show your team that you care, they'll win. I think that's the key to it. That's what it is. And you look at the NL West, the Arizona Diamondbacks, there's rumors of them going after Barry Bonds. And that's what I'm hearing. Barry Bonds in Arizona, that's a possibility. And I'm throwing one more name out there that would shock the world. The New York Mets. I wouldn't be surprised in the next 2 weeks, Barry Bonds is a Met. Because you need an impact player. And I can only think of one player that has more impact than Barry Bonds. And he could really impact the New York Mets. So, anything's possible. And my final thoughts on the home run derby. Josh Hamilton, congratulations, man. You hit 28 home runs in the first round. A record ever in the home run derby. I mean, a few years back, I saw Bobby Abreu hit 17 home runs in the second round. That was just unbelievable. But he hasn't been the same player since. But, that's very good, dude. It takes lots of talent, lots of skill. And just think about it. A few years ago, 3 years ago, this guy was out of baseball, on drugs, and he's completely turned his life around, thanks to his grandma. I tip my hat to Josh Hamilton. You've come a long way, dude. 512-foot home run. That's just insane. Dude, you and Justin Morneau. And Justin Morneau, congratulations on winning the home run derby. I still think Hamilton should have won it all, but hey, he got tired. That's what happens in the third round. Well, congratulations, Justin. Come on, a homegrown boy from New West. That's not too bad. That's all I got to say, folks, for MLB Review.